Hi everyone, Amy here, and I have a cute stenciled Halloween card to share with you today. Now to start off, I'm going to show you this adorable love web and spooky stencils from A Colorful Life Designs. I don't end up using the spooky one, but watch for other videos this month and I will put that adorable stencil to good use. I have this cute bat stamp set from Trinity Stamps, which I just end up using the sentiment, and here's a photo of the finished card. Very simple, flat, easy to ship, came together really quickly, and I'm going to show you how I made it. Now I did put some pixie spray on the inner portion of this web, and you can see it has an adorable little heart, so it's, a little creepy because, we don't all like spiders, but it's still cute, and I'm really happy to have it in my crafty stash. So I'm just figuring out how I want to configure this design on my card panel. It's A2 size, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. And at this point, I'm still considering if I'm going to use that spooky stencil, but I do decide to go a different way for the end result. And I'm just using my blending brushes. To start, I'm just using residual ink here from my blending brush. This is my purple family. And I'm starting kind of heavier handed from the center and going more light handed as I work outward onto this heart-shaped web. So I do bring in ultimately another color, but again, I'm just using the residual ink. Now, if you really want to pump up the color, you can go and use your ink pads. Now, Catherine Pooler is very, very saturated and pigmented, so I find that when I leave ink on my blending brushes, it ends up actually giving more of a subtle pastel look, which is what I wanted to go for here. So here at this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the cute bats, but I'm going to save them for a future card and actually just use this adorable little sentiment. Now I found this cute little spider stamp from this previous stamp set from the Rabbit Hole Designs, and if it is still available, I will link it in the video description box below with the other products that I used. But basically, I'm just going to load this card base right up into my Misty and use this cute little spider and this sentiment from this bat stamp set that says "Let's hang out." So I'm just doing some very simple stamping here in my Misty, figuring out where I want the little cutie spider to go in the sentiment, and then I'm just going to pick both stamps up at the same time with my Misty lid and then just stamp these with some black pigment ink. And I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne. This is a really dark black rich pigment ink, great for fine lines and details, which is what I want here because it's pretty small font and pretty small little spider that I'm working with here. So stamp this a couple times. That's the beauty of the Misty if you need to stamp it more than once. And then I'm just using this straight edge here and a micron pen just to create a little string for the spider off of the spider web. So very, very simple design. I actually even considered drawing a spider freehand, but then I remembered I had these Halloween stamp sets from the Rabbit Hole Designs. So that's going to finish the background design, and then I decide I want to add a little something extra. So I have these watercolors. These are very glittery, shimmery watercolors that I got off Etsy, and I will link them as well below in the video description box. But I'm using my water brush pen just to put a couple drops of water right in the little pan just to soften it up, and then I will use the water brush pen and an acrylic block just to flick some little droplets of this shimmery goodness all over the card base. And I did put in too much water. That's why I was using the paper towel just to sop that up, because I didn't want to get too big of droplets, which can happen if you add too much water. So I'm just taking some of the really shimmery watercolor here and putting it right on the edge of this acrylic block, and then I'll use the water brush pen just to flick these little droplets all over and add some visual interest onto this card. Now, I'm not worried if they end up getting on top of the spider or on the words because they are kind of clear and shimmery, but also because pigment is waterproof. So if I was using a dye ink to stamp those words, then I may want to kind of cover up that area to protect it. And I added a little bit of black blingage to kind of tie in and add a little bit more black into the design. But overall, very simple, easy to ship, easy to batch. If you need to make a bunch of Halloween cards, then you definitely want to check out this release. There's lots of really cute and some creepy Halloween stuff. And then there's also lots of really good fall, floral, pretty, autumn inspired goodness as well. So be sure to check out the release, and don't forget my my coupon if you shop to save on your complete order, and I appreciate you spending time with me today. I'll catch you next time. Bye.